Hey guys, how's it going? Masterbucks here. Welcome to episode 8 of the second season with Bradford City. And yes, we are now at the start of October, or I think we're playing our first or second game in October, which is the 7th. We've still got 4. I'm still going to go with 4 games every single episode now, so that way we can just kick on and try to get this season done as soon as possible. And I've got more on the progression of this season and how quickly I'm trying to get it out to you guys in a second. But before we do, we'll have a look at the championship table. We're 3rd at the moment, which is not bad considering we've been going up and down in this championship ladder. We were, I think the lowest we've ever been is 11th after maybe about, 5 or so games, and that I think is a fair assessment. Like, you won't say, let's say we lost our first game by 10 goals at the then we'd obviously be on bottom. But I mean, after a few games, the worst that we've been is 11th. We're now 3rd, which I think is actually the best that we've been at the moment. But now we've got Fulham, who are, of course, they're a Premier League quality team. I mean, even though they're in the Championship, it's pretty much essentially the same team. They haven't traded out their better players. I'm getting corralled by Luis here, and he, not Luis, Ruiz there, whatever. But anyway, the cross came in and it was headed, it nearly went into the goal from Doyle, but ended up hitting the post. And watch, I don't know if it's going to be this episode or another one that I've done, but just watch how many times some of my shots hit the post. It just drives me insane. But look at this header from the cross that's brought in and put right back into the middle, and that's a sensational diving effort or sliding effort into blocking the shot. It was sensational, and it did go out for a corner, but obviously nothing came to it. Jones with a chance to score the first goal of the game in the 84th minute. It didn't happen, and in stoppage time, Cruciantis sends through Reed. It's not that good. He doesn't get a lot of pace behind it, but that's a great one too. This could be it. He's cold. If it's not, if he holds his run, or if he just eases up on the throttle just a little bit, or maybe if the pass got to Cruciantis quicker, then he's through, he scores, we win in the 90th minute like we have done multiple times this season and in this career mode so far, but not to be that time. Very, very devastating result, but at least we can take away a draw from a Premier League team, I think is the best way of seeing it out. But anyway, let's just go with the votes in this game. Of course, there's a lot of my better players that actually didn't do well, like Pacheco and Moy got very low. But anyway, 1 vote in that game will go to McArdle, 2 votes will go to Yates, and 3 votes go to joint FIFA 14 and my man of the match, Stephen Darby, who is not my starting right back or isn't even really getting that much of a rotation now that we've got both Meredith and McGowan. McGowan pretty much took over at right back, but Darby will still come in if either 2 of those are, injured, because we don't actually have a spare left back at the moment. I mean, we've got Tarek Camdale, of course, but he doesn't have a lot of stamina, so... And even though he doesn't have a lot of stamina and I don't really start him, I can bring him in into a game. But, to be brutally honest, even when he's only... Because he's got such little stamina, he burns himself out even after like a half of football. It's kind of like, it just sort of like... He's got a shitload of pace, which is awesome, but he's not the type of guy that sort of bombs down the wings anyway. But that cross from McGowan into Cruciantis, I mean, that would have been sensational, but he hasn't been able to win anything. Danny Pacheco gets put on his ass, and apparently there is no foul for that, but whatever. But Ward making more efforts, making another effort, a second effort. That's a fantastic pass into Pacheco, who weaves his way around. Pinto goes for the spectacular. But like I've said, we've gone for bicycle kicks and scissor kicks all the time. We never seem to put them on target, or even if they are on target, they're just shit efforts that the keeper will deal with anyway. But it didn't really matter that time anyway, I guess, because it was offside. But look, we tried to deal with Uliola, who's actually recently signed for Leicester City, who passed it off to one of their other strikers from Brighton and Hove Albion, and he slotted it. And that was just... I thought I'd won the ball. I spent it before I earned it. I'd already started running, and it turned out they still had the ball. And then that was that. But another cross into Cruciantis, but it's gone out the back now to Ward. Ward somehow, I have no idea how, does not get a head onto that. And they whip in more crosses. We're not really running out of time, but we've got around about half an hour or so to go until the end of this game. We'd love to pick up a goal yet to score in this episode. And this is just some poor football. What sort of a pass was that from Ward? But we get away with it. We still have it. Meredith trying to go out wide into Yassine Benzia, who has been pretty quiet recently. More movement that just... We're trying to get anyone's head onto it. This is Bradford City we're talking about. We're supposed to be getting all the headers, but at the moment we're not getting anything. And they've still got the ball. Slide tackle up, slide tackle. I'm pushing forward. I'm getting shepherded from the ball, and that is essentially a nail in the coffin. And 85th minute, they score the winner. I don't know if I put in no, I haven't put in a replay, but it was just like tick-a-tack, pass and move and move. And it was really tough. And even the referee, even when we're 2-1 down, we can get some chance of getting just anything to take home, any goal at all. No, he's called it on us, and that was that. Oh, by the way, I don't know how I've missed it, but you can see that Sporanovic got a red card in that game. I'm not sure what for, obviously, because I didn't put it in this episode, but I was 10 men down at some point as well. So I guess that fact that we lost and I was a man down, I guess that you can sort of say, well, whatever. Anyway, moving on. We'll go with the votes in that game. 1 for Meredith. We got 2 for Bates and 3 for Danny Ward, who we did see a fair bit in that episode. And I think quite funnily, the one thing that I fondly remember of him in that game was just a ridiculous pass to no one. He just kicked it in front of him. And thankfully, one of the other players was able to swoop in and make the tackle and he got the ball back. But anyway, this is a little bit concerning because James Meredith, we're talking about, the 26-year-old Australian, he's not too old. He's still relatively young. Does say that he is unsettled, and you know what that means. We either have to play him, show him tons of love, praise him as much as fucking possible in the press conferences and all that shit, so that way he can stay at the club. Because if he leaves, I'm in a bit of shit because I've only got one left back, and that's, you know, I've got 3 right backs actually. I've got Stephen Darby, Tarek Camdale, and Ryan McGowan, and only like 1 or 2 of them can play at the left back spot. So if Meredith goes, then I've got no left back essentially. I've just got a right back that can play as a left back. But anyway, Danny Pacheco, he made his run very late, or early should I say, but it didn't matter. We still got the ball to him, but he shot it and hit the post. And this could be that game where I'm just going to hit the post consistently, but we'll find out. Oh yeah, this is definitely that game. Fucking 2 times I've hit the post now in less than 2 minutes. And the shot from Russell, it just split me open right in the defense. And you know, I'm not even going to blame the AI or anything for that. That was just some pretty poor defending. I just pulled my centre back. I pressed with my centre back, which left a gap in the defense. And playing on Legendary, that's exactly what's going to happen to you. But lovely touch. Awesome move from Danny Pacheco. We hit the crossbar for the... crossbar for the second time. We've hit the post once before. We have nearly scored 3 times, but we have hit the woodwork. It's starting to get on my mind now. Pacheco's still going. Gets fouled. Shoots instead. Hits the fucking post again. But thankfully this time, it looks like McLean knows where the ball... No, he knew what was going to happen. It was never going in the net. Of course it was going to hit the post. And he's put himself in the perfect position to tap it back in. So we score the first goal of the episode in the 3rd game. Lovely touch. Oh, no. And by touch, I mean chip in the Yates. And he has burned that volley like he's Emil Heskey. I mean, he would be proud. But... anyway, another pass into Davies. He's out wide. He's got two men corralling him. Maybe not so much anymore. 1, 2, gets in the cross. The header is not one somehow. It's gone over the back and it's fallen to a Derby player who then gets the goal that puts him up again. So can we find another equaliser now? That is the question. We've got Kennedy playing, who's a very old shit centre midfielder, but I'm just playing him because of energy woes and all that stuff, stamina. But Pacheco's putting the moves on and still trying to score. But even if he puts one on target, it doesn't hit the post. It's straight at the keeper and he's able to deal with it. But again, we have a chance. 90th minute, Darby, he'll whip it in. It's Yates again. He doesn't elect to go for the volley. Obviously a confidence thing. He absolutely butchered one, so he tried it with his head. Didn't get enough power on it. Keeper's collected and we've lost the game. Our 2nd straight loss now. And this is getting a little bit concerning because, you know, 2 losses in a row, I guess, you know, no one wants that. But if we don't get our if we don't get our shit together, I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. But, you know, we've only been able to score 1 goal in 3 games. Offensively, we haven't been terrific, so we need to work on this. We need to start scoring more goals. But yeah, anyway, let's go for the votes in this one. We got 1 to Derby, against Derby, by the way. 2 for Pacheco, and 3 for McLean, who scored the only goal and got a pretty good rating. Was man of the match from FIFA 14 as well. Now, this will be the toughest game of the episode. We've already lost our last 2 against Brighton and Hove Albion and bloody the team that we just played before in Derby. So that's ridiculous. But anyway, I've got a relatively good looking side. I mean, there's a few players that I'm bringing in, guys like Jones and whatever, and even yeah, so like guys like Jones and whatnot, we need to take off our best striker Krishantis because of you know, energy is all that stuff as well. But apart from that, it's pretty much starting 11 or strongest starting 11 possible. So hopefully this should be enough to get the job done. You can see that we've gone from 3rd to 8th. 2 losses, or technically not 2, but of a possible 9 points we could have taken from our previous 3 games, we've taken just the 1 point, a draw and 2 losses, and that has seen us slip to 8th. We are at that level in the we are at that point in the season. And look at this. I don't know who finished that. Was it Bedimo or was it Anichibi? But whoever it was, he just strolled in. It was a 3-on-2, 3 attackers and 2 defenders. I don't even know what happened in the defense. I wasn't paying too much attention, but whatever it was, I'm sure it was fucked and it wasn't my fault. Just like this one. Actually just like that one. I'm sure we let him get through. That's fine. But I made the tackle. I actually kicked the ball, but kicked it literally nowhere. It went right to Anichibi, as did that corner. We're 17 minutes in and we're 3-0 down. What the hell is going on? This is like Brazilian defending going on right now. McGowan turning the ball over, but being able to get it back again, and still fighting for it, and still getting it, and he'll try to send through Hansen, which he will. Benzia, McGowan, this would be a goal of the season. Oh, that would have been a goal of the season had he put it on, and he finished it with a volley. It's just gone all the way from the back line, but, and I don't really know if I want any of my defenders pushing forward at the moment, and again, we hit the fucking crossbar. What is going on? Can we just put, we've hit the post about 6 or 7 times in this one episode. In 4 games, we could have scored at least 6 or 7 goals. We've only scored 1. And at this point, I'm like, we're 3-0 down. I've got to do something. I don't care how much energy he's lacking. I need to get Krishantis on. I bring on Yates as well. Hopefully we don't, feed him too many volleys, because if he fucking butchers them like this. Anyway, Ward, he'll try laying it off for Jones. He's got some space. That's a sensational shot. Right in the top left-hand corner. He had a long-range attempt in previous games in this episode. Finally gets good contact, scores a second of it, and of this episode. But Loic Remy's there, has a shot. Just goes wide, unfortunately, for West Brom, but great for me. And again, more forward pressure, and we go with Aaron Moy, who we've got a little bit of support with Yates here, but he doesn't get a lot of pace under this or behind this attack, but Moy gets it back. He'll try whipping in that cross. Yates at the back post, tries to volley, took a deflection, it hit the post again. This is the 8th time that it's hit the post in this fucking episode, and it actually was rolling along the goal line, but it was rolling outward and not into the goal, which is just so frustrating. How many times can we hit the post again in this last game of the episode? But one more cross in. Hansen scores 90th minute. So it's 2-3 now. This could be a great comeback. We've scored more. We've scored more than 1 goal in stoppage time before, but the referee would not let us go on because there just wasn't simply enough time. And there's 3 losses from our last 3 games of a possible 12 points in the last 4. We've only been able to take 1, and that is going to severely hurt our position on the ladder. And, I mean, this sort of thing happens in Ultimate Team, in career mode all the time, where you can just be dominating and winning any game against any opponent with any team, and then you play, all of a sudden it just doesn't work for you. But anyway, last game, last votes, we got 1 for Collins, 2 for Jones, and 3 for Aaron Moy, who, again, was also man of the match. I do start to take FIFA 14's ratings a little bit more seriously, so that way, it kind of, in a way, removes a little bit of bias. I'm taking more than my own opinions. I'm actually getting some feedback from the game too, but this should be interesting. Coming up, an away game. It is at St. James, by the way, against Newcastle, Capital One Cup. Can we continue on? We're playing against my team I support in real life, so yeah, that'll be interesting. We got Bradford going up against Newcastle in the Capital One Cup, but until then, I'm yours, Game of the Masterbucks. Peace out. Bye-bye.